Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey. So make sure you guys have your teacups ready because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So I want to talk about the whole XXXTentacion situation. So if you guys don't know, this past Wednesday the 27th was his funeral. And they did it at the BB&T Center in Florida. And when I tell you thousands of his fans came from near and far to show X so much love, it was a lot of people that went there. There were celebrities, regular people. People came from way across the country. Some people came from other countries just to come and pay him his final respects. They're saying that he was buried in a denim jacket. He had 2 braids in his hair and that he had black roses on either side of his coffin with silver leaves. I want you guys to go ahead and watch this news clip. I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
It's a brother.
Hearts heavy for a rising rap star.
It's the least I could do, show my respects to him.
Thousands of fans gathering days after he was gunned down to say a final farewell.
It was a touching tribute for XXXTentacion. A massive crowd shared an outpouring of emotion, and they paid their respects. Legend's Nicole Insalata live where he was shot in Deerfield Beach. Nicole.
Well, Craig, it's been almost 10 days now since the artist known to his fans as X was shot here in Deerfield Beach. But, you know, the sun being so hot this afternoon, that wasn't enough to keep people away, thousands of people away from the BB&T Center where they stood in line for hours to say a final goodbye.
Around last December, I was going through a lot mentally, and his music kind of helped me let it all out.
Everything he's done hasn't been taken for granted, that he's done something, and it impacted multiple lives.
My best friend, he had depression, and X's songs helped him.
I feel connected to him almost.
And Wednesday night, that connection to the late rapper XXXTentacion brought young people back to the spot where he lost his life.
Long live X.
Earlier in the day, fans stood outside the BB&T Center in Sunrise in the blazing afternoon sun just to get a glimpse of the star one last time.
I felt the need to get here this early, all the way from Philadelphia, because it felt like I lost a brother.
Some fans traveled from Philadelphia, Missouri, Louisiana, just to name a few, to be here for this public memorial.
Because he devoted so much time and energy in helping other people, bringing positivity to other people, that it's the least I could do, show my respects to him.
Like, the energy was real. That's why it's going to prosper.
X was ambushed June 18th as he left Riva Motorsports in Deerfield Beach, shot and killed as he sat in his BMW. Detectives arrested 22-year-old Dedrick Williams, whom they believe drove the SUV that blocked X, preventing him from leaving. Williams now charged with premeditated murder. And now police are looking for 22-year-old Robert Allen. This is a surveillance still showing him inside the store on the day of the murder. Police right now are calling him a person of interest.
I was wondering, like, can it please be a prank? Like, I ain't want it to be real.
Inside the arena, it was clear it is real. X's open casket on stage for hours.
He's gone, and like, there's nothing we can do to bring him back. And he was just an amazing person that helped a whole bunch of people.
So once again, police would like to speak to that young man, Robert Allen. If you know anything about him, give a call to Broward County Crime Stoppers, the number 954-493-TIPS. And once again, they are calling him a person of interest. Reporting in Deerfield Beach, Nicole Insalata.
All right, so you guys just saw that news clip. So I think the craziest thing concerning this whole Triple X situation is that yesterday, his new music video was released. The song is called Sad. The song bangs, but when you see the visuals, this video was crazy as hell. I sat there and I watched it, and at first I was really creeped out by, like, you know, the brown eyes and all the black, you know, kind of looked kind of spooky, kind of dark. But when I really just sat and watched it, I took a lot away from the video. When I tell you the part when the damn X in the coffin jumped out and grabbed the other X, that scared the hell out of me. Go ahead and check this part out. That video, when I tell you this video was right with a lot of symbolism, there was a lot of deep meaning behind this, and I really enjoyed this, and it just shows how creative this young man was. Not only was he the writer, he was the director, he came up with the concept, and now a lot of folks are really comparing him to Tupac, because as we all know, when Tupac made his last video, I'm Not Mad at Ya, it was about Tupac being in heaven. It's like he foresaw his death and he talked about it. And it's almost like the same thing with X. You know, he foresaw his death as well. He's in a church. He's attending his own funeral. This entire concept was very creepy and is very reminiscent of the whole Tupac situation. In my personal opinion, I know a lot of people are saying that the video is demonic, it's dark, you know, it's reminiscent of the Illuminati. But like I said, if you really watch it and you watch it from like an open perspective, I really enjoyed it. What I took away from the video is that basically X was killing a part of himself. When he became popular, that's when he had the half black, half, you know, white hair, the whole duality situation, the Masonic colors. And basically, I feel like, you know, near the end of his life, he was really waking up. He was realizing that the path that he was going down and the fact that he had so much power towards the youth and a lot of young people listened to him, he realized that he wanted to change and start doing better. And so he had to kill that evil part of him. He had to kill that part that basically blew him to stardom. You know what I mean? Because he was no longer that person. By the end of his life, he was done with all the fighting and the tirades and going off. And he was preaching a lot of peace and positivity. But unfortunately, sometimes, you know, when you've done so much in your life and when you put out, you know, some negativity, sometimes as you are trying to do the right thing, it can be a bit too late. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, his life was cut short. But I just feel like, you know, what he said in that video, the message that he left was just really deep. And one thing I did respect about X, you know, is the fact that he treated each and every fan with respect. You know, there were videos of him where he was being recorded and he didn't even know it. And he was literally showing fans love who were making t-shirts, and he was encouraging them and telling them to keep on hustling, keep on doing their thing. He was appreciative of every single fan.
Drake fan. Yo, this is crazy, yo. Dog, I told you, I've been fucking with you before everyone, bro. I'm not no new fan, bro. Dog, I swear to God. Yo.
It's life.
Can you do that again?
What's going on, nigga? You good? Oh my God.
I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, he was a young man and we're all growing, we're all learning, we're all trying to figure out this thing called life, you know, and I don't think he had finished his journey. But I feel like he was brought here to, you know, deliver a message. And I think a lot of people got that message. And the fact that he touched so many lives, it definitely showed, because you guys watched a news clip where it was thousands of people who came to support him, you know, who came to be there for him, who are mourning for him just like his parents are mourning for him. And I want you guys to go ahead and watch this video of his father speaking. Go ahead and check this out.
Good day. My name is Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy. My son is Jase Dwayne Ricardo Onfroy. Born January 23rd, 1998. Left this earth physically June 18, 2018, at 20 years old. I will mourn my child from Monday to Monday, 7 days. And after 7 days, I will forever celebrate my child's life. All he accomplished, everything and everyone that he touched. I thank you all for your prayers and your well wishes. If you will join me in mourning him for the first 7 days.
All right, so you guys just saw that video of his father, and boy, did he look a lot like his father. I do believe that X had gotten himself, you know, spiritually right. He was on like a spiritual path. He was on the right path. He was trying to change his life. And with him having such a huge platform, you know, there's no telling where he could have been. There's no telling what he could have done. And I think that's what makes his death even more tragic and senseless, is that this young man had his whole life ahead of him, and he was definitely trying to change for the better. And he was trying to lead the youth who followed him to start changing for the better as well. Now, I'm in no way comparing X to Tupac, but I feel like X, he kind of got everything figured out a bit sooner than Tupac, because when you think about it, You know, Tupac was 25 and he was definitely a hothead. He allowed the culture, he allowed, you know, all these rumors and all the, you know, the whole beefing with, you know, East Coast, West Coast and Biggie Smalls and him, you know, getting involved with the gangs even though he didn't have to. He allowed all of that to basically take over him. He allowed his persona to take over. And I feel like X was at a point where, yes, initially he allowed his persona to take over, but he was breaking free of that and he was becoming more enlightened, more spiritually enlightened. Even when you watch a lot of his interviews, he was, you know, a really deep young man. He was definitely woke. He wasn't like a typical dumbass rapper from Miami, Florida. He definitely had a whole different style about him. That's why a lot of these kids gravitated towards him and his music. He did have that dark side about him, but he also had that side where he was waking up. And so I think that he was on a better path than even Tupac was, because at the end of this, he realized that the violence and all the stuff he was perpetuating in his music was not the right road to go. And he talked about that. Tupac never got that chance to make that amends. He died violently, and what was left of Tupac's legacy was a lot of negativity and a lot of the stuff that he stirred up. You know, and people really didn't start praising Tupac until years later. But after he died, you know, a lot of folks kind of felt like, oh, well, you know, that's what he gets. You know, he perpetuated a lot of bullshit. It was a lot of negativity surrounding Tupac way back then when he died. It wasn't until years later that people really started to embrace him and go back and really check out his music. So I say that to say that I don't compare X to Tupac, but I do feel like X was a little bit, you know, he had evolved more than Tupac had as far as his music and the things that he was saying to his fans. Because unfortunately, Tupac never got a chance to come back around and then to tell his fans to change and do better, whereas X got a chance to do that before he passed. So I can respect him for realizing that at the young age of 20 and trying to change that around. So much respect to X for that. You know, rest in peace to that young man. It's really sad that he had to go out the way that he did, but they're looking for other killers. As we all know, it wasn't just the one young man that was arrested. They're looking for at least 2 to 3 other suspects. So hopefully they will all be caught and brought to justice. It's never going to bring back Jase, aka XXX, but his music will still live on. So anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation concerning XXX and his funeral. And then how do you guys feel about his music video, Sad? Are you here for it? Are you feeling it? Do you feel like, you know, it was really deep? Do you understand the message that he was trying to convey? Or do you feel like it's just demonic, it's too dark? Especially with that, you know, that demon he was talking to. That was just really creepy. But besides that, I definitely got the message that he was trying to convey. And, you know, once again, rest in peace to that young man. Let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right. Deuces.
And anger and hate and living in regret. Like, don't live in regret. There's no point in living in regret. There's no point in living in negativity. Like, I'm not trying to be some fucking super pseudoscience motherfucker talking about crazy shit. I'm not even talking about religion, bro. I'm just telling, bro, you can't even be in a religion, bro, if you don't know yourself, bro. If you can't worship something if you don't know yourself, bro. You have to love yourself. You have to understand yourself. You have to take a second to sit down to thoroughly observe your patterns. Do you move when you don't want to move? Do you get angry when you don't want to get angry? You have to fix these things about yourself. You have to give a fuck about yourself, and that makes life so much better. Like, I'm learning to do it now, and it makes life 10 times better. It makes you feel better. It makes you more tolerable about. All right, so let's look at it this way.
And I hope you really enjoyed that video. If you want to know more about my look of the day, or if you want a way to contact me concerning advertisement and sponsorship deals, definitely feel free to click my description box. There's plenty of information in there. Please stay tuned for the next video. Talk to y'all later.